All right, this is pretty much the craziest garage scene. So it's like, which one do you take? You get the Saleen S7 or you take the Ferrari F40?
What's going on, Hoonigan viewers? Let me ask you this. Are you the type of person that winds up in a ditch sideways with a lot of people recording you on their phones? Do you perhaps own a C4 Corvette and drive it like it is an actual race car? So if you've got race car dreams, but more like a Mustang leaving a car show skill set, we've got the solution for you. Here at Hoonigan, we're offering you a chance to you crows. We're offering you a chance to win an all-expense paid trip to Skip Barber Racing School, where you can learn how to not understeer or crash into things, look tight as where you can stop acting like you know how to drive and actually be able to drive. Here's how you enter. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/Hoonigan. Sign up for a new subscription to Dollar Shave Club. Then go to hoonigan.com/DSC. Follow the steps on that page. After that, you're done. But hurry, contest ends soon.
What's up, guys? Chen here. Welcome to another episode of Hoonigan Autofocus. I have my buddy Juan Carlos here. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
So this is his compound, as I guess I like to call it, or is that what you call it, the compound?
You could, yeah.
What is this? This is, you got the American side and then you got the Ferrari side.
Yeah, just by chance. The flags are inverted. It's just by chance.
This car, I remember you were kind of telling me the story about this car. This is one of those ones that you really, really wanted to get in your collection.
Yeah, no, of course, that was a dream, because I started, from the ground, and even when they came out, they were $1.2, $1.4 million. They were trading up to 1.6, I believe. And it was just a dream, but when they finally got to an affordable, semi-affordable number, probably in the early 2000s, I had the chance of buying one that was from one owner, and I stretched and I got it. I didn't really want to personalize it. That wasn't my deal. I wanted to make it perform the way I really wanted to. And people might not know, but the brakes on these cars, if you track them, if you put them on the track, the factory brakes don't last more than a couple laps. I was able to get the wing made. Everything is bolt-on. So, I have all the original parts. You can always put it back together again. I bought the car originally with like 500 miles.
Wow.
So,
So, and obviously drive it. While I love the F40 and I love the Saleen F7, we're not here to talk about individual cars. We actually wanted to check out your collection. It's kind of one of those things that I've been thinking about ever since I met you. So we're finally here back in Miami for the NASCAR finals. But before we actually head to Homestead, wanted to come by and say hello. We got Garage One here. What's the next stop?
Okay, let's come down this way. Well, I have some cars that I drive daily, that dually, Camaro ZL1. That car is like, my favorite track car right now because it's easy to, take it to the track and drive it and come back.
That's a Lotus Elise or Exige?
Lotus Exige S, and it's got a Sector 111 kit on it that raises the horsepower to around 300.
And don't let the appearance fool you guys. Juan knows his stuff. He is a big car guy and he really gets into the details. And that's kind of one of the fun things that I always say with him is that there's no rhyme or reason why he has these cars. It's such a wide variety of cars that it's just based on what you like, right?
Right. And the promise of a fun time, and you want to buy basically trying to buy a roller coaster. Every roller coaster brings a different turn, a different, compromise and different things that can make it more fun. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be the fastest car in the world to be fun. You're looking to have fun.
Yeah, so what do we got here? We got some really crazy stuff here. R35 GTR, right? We got your E30 M3.
It's got the straight 6 M motor on it. A regular Raptor, an older Raptor.
Regular Raptor, and then basically the most prolific, or the as you would say, the Mona Lisa
of offshore racing.
Offshore racing.
Yeah.
Do you actually drive that thing?
I've used it a few times. They're a lot of maintenance and stuff. Not a thing that you just drive around and stuff like that. When it comes back, it's very labor intensive using them. They have full race motors.
How much horsepower does this thing make?
1,000 horsepower big engines supercharged.
So it's 2,000 horsepower.
2,000 horsepower. 2,000 horsepower. It's a Kevlar hull. But these boats were made for the new offshore races are usually close to the coast, so it's not big seas. There's a few of the big sea races in Europe, and these boats still do really well. This one has a really big history in back of it. It's relayed. It's been come out in GQ magazine and in a bunch of books. And
what an interesting thing to have in a collection. It really is really cool. So, like, what's the story with all of these houses? Why is it that it's all different houses, but it's the same compound?
Well, someone made this house. These houses were usually in an acre each. The main house is a small one here, and then they had additions done. Then this one in front was made by a guy that was an architect from, I think, North Carolina or something. So that's why it's got that North Carolina feel to it. Just different houses that I bought throughout the years, and then closed off and was able to, make my own little compound here.
I love it. I love it. This really is the dream compound. It really is. That's why I call Juan Carlos the Jay Leno of the East. All right, so you got a beautiful
92 NSX. I've had for probably 20 years or so.
Oh, this is an interesting collection here.
SL65 Black Series.
Of course, as you do.
Yeah.
I love the wide body on it.
Yeah. Those are the wheels for a car that we're gonna see later at the warehouse for a 935 DP that I have over there.
What? Okay.
But it's not done yet, so it's in the process.
I've been to DP. Love that place so much. They have that 944 Estate that I think is super cool. Can't wait to see that. And then you got a 442
1970 442 W30 convertible. They made very few of them. This one's got all the options. The his and her shifter, the power windows, air conditioning. It's a 2-owner car, all original panels, no rust whatsoever ever. So these cars, what I usually do is I improve the suspension. I'll get modern shock absorbers and paint them gray like they used to be. And I get Hotchkiss components for handling, like sway bars and stuff, and paint them just like they would be from factory, so the car will handle better. And then I take out the motors, roller cam to specs that are similar to the original ones, maybe more lift and stuff, but the idle will be similar, and try to make more horsepower. I think this car was rated, I believe, right around 400 horsepower, and then you have a car that idles similar and behaves similar, but it's got maybe 500.
Wow.
So it makes a big difference in the...
That's cool. And one of the things that you pointed out, actually, that I never really noticed about these cars is it has the red fender wells.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just such a cool little detail.
Yeah, only the W30s had red fender wells.
It's kind of like on women's shoes, like Christian Louboutin, right? The bottoms are red, and don't ask me how I know that. But it's just one of those things where it's like kind of like a subtle thing that you can kind of see,
You don't know he's kinky.
Yeah.
He's kinky, but
Exactly.
It's all right, man. We're okay with it.
Yeah. All right, so on to the next area. It's crazy because it's almost like you got these houses and then you just put cars in them. Oh my God, I just looked at the other side of that house and I just saw more things. And of course you have a 240Z, beautiful 240Z.
1970, all original panels, original floor plan, no rust ever. I have the original motor over there, you'll see it. But I had a motor done by Revello.
Oh.
Car had AC from factory, so I just, got it to work a little better.
This one's number 8,840. Wow. So cool. I just finished restoring mine. It's still not as clean as this because since this is all original.
And seats are original seats, original door panels.
So how often do you get to take these cars out?
That's a problem. A lot of these cars, some of the cars we're gonna see there, like that R5, I haven't driven in 5 years. Start them up once in a while when I get a chance. This car's got our Arizona Z, is it?
Arizona Z.
Suspension front and rear. It's got adjustable power steering.
This is what I mean. This is the thing that is so cool. all the little nuances about every one of your cars. Like you get into detail. The fact that you know what Arizona Z is, and also Rebello Racing. You have a Rebello Racing engine then. Mm-hmm. The fact that you know all these little things about these cars, just it always blows my mind. It's just so cool. And you could tell this is a 70 because it has these vents, and also there's no hole here, which is okay, parked next to your GT3 RS, which we pretty much glanced over.
GT3 RS is a Canadian car, and I like that it was Canadian because you could get the roll cage from factory. American cars couldn't bring the roll cage. And then I got the seats from a Euro RS. They're lighter, they're the full bucket seats. And American cars, they weren't available. That was almost practically the same seat as the Carrera GT. Carrera GTs and RS seats are about the same. They're pretty much the same.
And then of course you have the Ford GT.
Ford GT I bought new. It's got some mods also.
Beautiful HRE wheels.
Mild mods. I'm getting the new one also. I was approved for the new one. I'll get it first half of next year. I'm getting a carbon edition.
Okay, so that's kind of one of the crazy things is I think they sold the last spot for the last one, which I thought they were actually selling the car, but they were auctioning off the last spot, and the last spot sold for almost $500,000.
Insane.
Which
ridiculous.
is so cool. So, but that's the difference with you. You're gonna get it and you're gonna enjoy it, right?
Oh, of course. That's the idea. It's a plus that you'll have your money there more or less. You never know where they're gonna land in price, but it's nice to know that you're spending a lot of money and that's hard work money, and you're not blowing it away in Las Vegas, gambling or anything like that. So your money's more or less there. It's always comforting,
I see a lift over here, so I
Okay,
know there's
so
something
this is
crazy
this is my most exciting project right now. It's a street car, and it competed in the Silver State Challenge or something like that, in one of those. And this was the type of car that it was. It had an LS motor or something, and then I took it out, supercharged.
It's kind of like a what do they call them now? Not pro mod, but it's a pro touring car.
Pro touring.
Yeah. So when Juan Carlos says that it's potentially one of the most exciting projects at this time, that means a lot coming from him. So this is probably going to be one of those ones where I'm really going to have to shoot.
This car is going to be something really, really, really special. And it was already pretty special. What I did was I took out the other motor, and I put in the motor of 2019 ZR1. So it's gonna have AC, it's gonna have, that whole suspension. As you can see, the frame has been stiffened and stuff. It's got the brakes of a newer Corvette Z06.
It's gotta be some feeling for you when you're done with a long-term project like this, for you to drive it for the first time. It's gotta be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very picky. And then the guy that I have working with me here, he's not here today, but he says, just try it out. And I'd rather try it out when he says it's 100% done. Done as far as it doesn't pull to the right. And that's the thing, you work on a car, and you see a lot of cars that are really nice, the way they look, but when you drive them, they're just not right. They oversteer, they understeer, you brake and the pedals mushy, or a bunch of little details that's where it really comes in to make it right. Or it's too loud.
Yeah.
When it heats up, it stumbles. So it's a lot of little factors that is not only putting parts together and bolting them up, and that
it's like just the final 5% pretty much that kind of really
those
ties
details
it in
are
together.
the ones that are really, really matter. Or the car will shake, or people don't tell you about that when you see a program on TV. That's where it's really at.
What do you got here? Oh my goodness.
Well, this is a Trans Am Super Duty. This is also a pretty special car.
This is goals, but this is goals to just, I keep saying it really is goals to a new level. Of course, you have a Grand National.
Yeah, I have a GNX.
Oh.
But this car is it's got a long story. The reason I kept this car is was from a famous guy here in the 80s.
You also have a GNX then?
Yeah.
Oh. And the 2002 here?
That's a 2002 with an E30 M3 motor.
And then is a 308?
308 quattro valvula. Yeah.
Magnum PI car?
Yeah, well, this is a 4-valve. Magnum had the other one, the 2-valve. Yeah, but it's same style.
This is what I mean. You just know everything about your cars. It's just rare. It's really rare. One of the first things that Juan told me, I knew I had to visit his compound because he basically said, look, I wanted to play drums and drums are really loud. So I just bought the house next to me to play drums and store cars out of. When he told me that, I'm like, I have to come visit your compound next time I'm in Miami.
1970s cars. 1970s cars would rust because it wasn't galvanized or anything like that. Just talking to you, look at the floor plans on this car. The original floor plans, yeah, they're dirty and stuff, but it's got the original color on the floor plans. You know, it's...
Wow, so this is all original?
Well, the tank, I don't know if we replaced, but at least the floors and this type of thing here, when you see something like that on a car that's a 1973, how many years? It's super old.
It's all in the details for you, it seems.
No, and then it's got to drive the way you really would dream for it to drive. Some cars you read in a magazine, especially old cars, and you would think they drive a certain way, but when you drive them, they're a letdown. This is a 73 Trans Am, and they also has a really long story on how they got away with making, it's supposed to be the last muscle car. And what was his name? Herb Adams, the guy that, he worked for Pontiac, and he was able to actually make a special race motor, and just a few of them got this Super Duty motor. This one's got, like ported, you look at the motor, it looks perfect, but it's got ported heads, roller cam, and it just runs a lot better. You look at it, you won't notice, but when you drive it, you can tell it's...
I kind of like the updated wheels too, with the same kind of scheme.
I did the whole suspension, adjustable, shocks, and I put those wheels on it so it actually handles instead of the thin wheels that I would bring.
It probably has good brakes now too, then.
No, it's got the standard brakes. I didn't want it to look like funky inside because they're actually very valuable. You don't want to mess with things that will look, off.
Oh, the interior is so clean.
Original seats, factory rear console, which was an extra, really rare. To have a little console in the middle, don't look like much, but it was a rare option.
Oh, yeah.
The 8-track case. Look at the 8-track over there.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I really do like that you update certain things that you think need to be updated, but you leave a lot of the things stock.
Yeah.
I mean, it honestly keeps the value too, right? That you have all these little things.
It's your vision of right, and it mostly is bolt-ons. But the fact that the motors, hopped up and stuff, it wouldn't detract, because if I didn't tell you, you'd start it and you would think it's original. But it's just that the cam's got more lift and the head's been ported and all that stuff, and it might have a bigger crank or something. So,
can we take a look at the motor on this one real quick? Oh, yeah.
And here, of course, you need AC here in Florida. So.
Yeah, so pretty much all the cars that you can have AC, you have
try,
AC.
Yeah.
It's interesting in that this used to be a street, but this street basically goes to all of Juan Carlos's houses here. So I guess he just blocked it off, and then this is just his entire compound of network of houses, basically like a city block of houses. Unbelievable.